Hi everyone, welcome to the video series I am creating on Internet of Things. This is the first video which I'm creating on Internet of Things, and this particular video is more for my own reference as well as for people who would be interested to know more about Internet of Things and how they relate to from business to business perspective. I will start looking at a couple of which I have, and the first one will be an article by Eddie Lockhart, and he updated this post in the TechTarget magazine on how will Internet of Things devices change businesses. The Internet of Things is poised to change the business world by connecting everything from cars to houses. Do you know enough about IoT? Let's find out. Smartphones and tablets added a slew of new endpoints to the business world. Internet of Things devices take it to a whole new level, allowing almost anything to be connected to the internet. The Internet of Things IoT devices can turn objects, even people or animals, into wireless data transmitters. Internet of Things devices, which each have their own unique IP address, remotely transfer data between physical devices and virtual back, virtual backend by relying on sensor technology. These include everything from wearable exercise devices such as wear or the home thermostats, which stop automatically when the necessary temperature reaches there. And it can range from all those things to manufacturing warehouse devices and environmental research monitoring sensors. With a growing number of applications in the enterprise, IoT is actually on the verge of something very big. It's actually on the precipice of revolutionizing how we work. It is time to test your knowledge on how fast IoT is growing and what the business concerns. Now, to understand a lot of facts which have been laid out. According to a research, the revenue Internet of Things devices will grow to 8.9 trillion by 2020. So I'm sure this is a fact, and this can continue to change. And the numbers might be an ambitious number at this stage, or it might be a conservative number. We do not know. We can't say as of now. Now, what we mean to say is, now this is what was covered in the article in TechTarget. I wanted to give a perspective of mine. Internet of Things, as we know, as we understand as of now, there would be an object which would have like a pencil, right? It would have a sensor attached, maybe to the tip of the pencil, or I don't know, somewhere. I mean, we just have to connect. This is a lame example which I'm taking, but what I'm trying to say is that a sensor connected to a pencil can actually detect what are you writing this on. Maybe if it is a tip, which a pencil might not be a very good example. I mean, if it is a ballpoint pen, then if the tip itself has a sensor, then it can actually calculate how many kilometers or how many miles have you written with that pen. And not just that, it will also monitor the surface you're writing. It can also monitor the time at which you are writing. So it can, this is just one example. Now, think of something else. Think of maybe um, a cell phone mouse, right? If we are thinking of a cell phone mouse, a wireless mouse, I'm sorry. So if there is a sensor which is attached to it, which calculates or which records the movements, okay? Now, the way we are using the mouse, the circles, the straight lines, the clicks, and everything, whatever we are trying to measure, um, when all that data starts getting collected, what is going to happen is an exciting pattern would emerge based on where exactly, which fingers are we using the most. which muscles of our body or which ligaments of our body are going to get into strain because of my using of that particular mouse in that fashion. Now, it'll also depend a lot on the websites. What kind of websites would be what kind of websites, layouts would be needed for people to browse easily, right? If the mouse is at the same position and I'm clicking on it 20 times, now the mouse will be able to understand whether it is a frustration click, whether the system is working, not working. Now, since the mouse, so I mean, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of interesting data would be collected. I mean, these are lame examples which I am taking because I have really not thought through this. But the thing is, let us think of there was a case which was being discussed in the class, and I am in there a couple of days back where I didn't know about it, and there are elevators which have sensors installed in them, which right now what they're trying to do is whenever there is a particular screw which is like a little bit loose, and uh, so what it does is before the screw gets completely I mean, completely, it comes out of the panel. Um, the, the device, the lift or the elevator, what it does is it sends out a signal to its manufacturing company, and before even the problem happens, preventive action is taken. A technician comes in, he fixes the lift, so there is no downtime. So, and these are very simple, basic examples. I was wondering how it would be if we say, suppose we are walking into an airport, and think of immersive 3D experience, right? You are wearing a glass which is necessarily transparent, but it is also a 3D world wherein you are able to see custom messages. So what is going to happen is if you as the person, you have a sensor which you are wearing, and then you're walking into an airport, the system scan you, and then you don't have to go anywhere. So you don't have to go to the counter to stand in a queue and to get your boarding pass. As soon as you enter the airport, you're wearing your glass. It'll tell you that, okay, it'll tell you your name. So for me, it is Shubhendu. So it'll tell you, hey, Shubhendu, your flight to Hyderabad departs at 5:15. Take 20 steps front, and then to the right, you will get your boarding pass. So by the time I walk till that distance, the boarding pass would be printed and it would be kept. And when I reach there, I can definitely validate using my biometrics, my fingerprints, or eye scan or retina scan. And then what happens is the thing comes out, the boarding pass comes out. I just pick it up and then go. Now, while I'm going, and if I'm still carrying the luggage, it can still prompt me. I mean, I'll still have those immersive 3D glasses on. I can see the airport, I can see everything, but then there would be a lot of messages which would be going in. Much like Google Glass, but I'm not very sure if Google Glass can actually project you into a 3D environment. So I have not tried Google Glass, so I'm not really. Uh, I'm not really the right person to comment on that, but this is what can happen while we are using immersive technology as well as the sensor, the Internet of Things. Now, interesting perspectives, interesting observations or trends are being predicted by industry analysts, and they are of the opinion that Internet of Things will not be I mean, we are thinking that they'll be used for personal use, but industry analysts, they believe that it is the B2B, the industries, the factories, the hospitals and healthcare industry per se, and large factories, they will be using Internet of Things on a much larger fashion than individuals. that is going to bring in significant increases to the operational efficiency and of the operational efficiency of the particular company. Now, what Internet of Things can do is open to interpretation because the area is totally new. It is interesting to see how the research pans out, how it evolves, and what all are the areas that researchers are looking at, and if if there are situations where I get to work or get to research on Internet of Things, I would be looking at your support to help me with your understanding of Internet of Things. If you are interested to be a part of the survey on Internet of Things, please take a moment, put your email address. Maybe you can separate it out and decode it or code it and put it in the comments in the bottom of the video, and we can take it from there. Internet of Things, as we speak, is definitely something which is going to impact the entire world. We were not aware of social media 5 years or maybe 10 years before, and today we cannot dream of things without social media. As of today, IoT is exactly at the same place where social media was 10 years from now. Interesting possibilities and a lot of things to do. Exciting times ahead for the field of marketing. Well, look forward to speaking to you soon on my next video on Internet of Things very soon. Thank you.